Next, let's talk about the ear cups. So they're pretty different themselves. Once again, thickness is quite a big difference. These also look great with the actual stitching that they have around it. They are super plushy in comparison to these guys. Literally, like, I want Astro to make just an entire pillow of just this that I can lay my head on. Maybe I'll just take these up to bed with me instead. They're also super, super soft. So, you know, if you like to just sit and rub things for comfort's sake, well, get yourself one of these guys. One thing to note too is that they are slightly smaller for your ears, as you can kind of tell right there, than the normal version. And so if you have pretty big ears, like I feel like I don't have that big of ears and mine kind of barely fit in there in comparison to these guys. I have a lot more room. Don't know why, but that is something to keep in mind. Also with the leather, some people's ears might get hot and overheat and sweat and stuff with them because they do create a nice little seal, but that's also part of that noise canceling and closed back system, is that they're trapping all the sound in there with the leather because that's harder to get through than the plush and everything like that. So let's talk about the top of the headband. Once again, you can tell that this is a lot more thicker than this. The difference, I mean, this is still the really nice soft leather that's nice and poofy. It does make it so the whole headset fits a lot tighter to your head. Also, I mean, it looks way cooler than this version, even though you can't see it because the light's reflecting off of it. But it does look a lot better in that sense too, and with the stitching and everything like that. So let's talk overall comfort. Both the stock version and the modded version both fit extremely well. I think they're both very, very comfortable. One of the most comfortable headsets that I've ever worn on both sides. One thing to note is that with the leather and everything like that, when you have it all decked out like this, it does fit a lot tighter to your head, which some people don't like. I personally do like it. Another thing to note, if you can just notice, like, so there's that much when without the mod kit and everything put on there, and then when I have the mod kit, I actually have to move these up in order for it to fit by that much. So that's a pretty big difference. So I've got like a small to medium size head. So if you've got a big head, my concern would be is if you have all of this on there, that you're going to run out of room and it's going to squeeze your head a little too much, so it might become uncomfortable. For me, I think it's really comfortable with these on, but it's also extremely comfortable without it. So like the different, don't buy this just based off of, oh, that's going to be more comfortable, because it's not worth the money in that case. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before I wrap up this video is the sound differences. Which one sounds better, the stock version or the mod kit version? How I tested the two different sounds out is I listened to 4 different songs, which I will put up on the screen right now so you can go listen to them yourself. I also did all the testing for the songs with Dolby Digital off, and then after that I played a custom Call of Duty Black Ops 3 game with dead silence and awareness to see which one I could hear better with, and I did that with surround sound on. So let's go into the results right now. What I'm going to do is actually put on that custom gameplay. So what I'm going to do is put that on so you can see the differences. The first 25 kills that I get are with me using the mod kit, and then the last 25 kills are with me using the normal stock version of the A40 TRs. The first song that I listened to was Hello by Adele. When I had the mod kit installed, the bass sounded better, like it was supposed to be there. Instead of overpowering, the sounds were clearer. I couldn't hear the background noises as well as I could with the stock version. They tended to blend in more with the overall sound. However, the overall sound was better, but I couldn't hear the separation of all the different nuances and sounds as easily as I could with the mod kit version, the non-mod kit version. Also, the sound was a lot more isolated inside the room from external noises. When I had the non-mod kit installed, the bass was really strong. It also sounded semi-muffled. I could hear background noises with a lot more clarity. and I could also hear the noises that were happening in the room a lot better. So then I did a mix, so I just kept the speaker tags on, which made it close back, and then I used the cloth ear cups. The background noise is almost impossible to hear. The background noise in the actual video was pretty much completely impossible to hear. It was muffled, and also the highs of the voice were extremely harsh, so it ended up hurting my ears. Then I tried a different combination with the leather ear cups and then the normal speaker tags. And with that, the bass was a lot louder. It was almost overbearing. The voices sounded just fine, but I also, once again, could not hear the background noises very well at all. So the mix, just in general, wasn't very good sound in comparison to one or the other. So for the rest of the testing, I just decided to do one or the other. The second song that I did was Mary Did You Know by Pentatonics, or was covered by Pentatonics. With the mod kit on it, it sounded better overall. Everything was more balanced, and I could hear individual parts better and a lot more clear. Without the mod kit on it, it wasn't as clear. I could pretty much only hear the main part. Individual parts were hard to pick up. For song 3, it's labeled Fall Out Boy and Alicia Keys, covered by Christina Grimmie and Mike Tompkins. The mod kit, I could hear the individual things a lot better and everything sounded good, whereas without the mod kit, it didn't sound nearly as good. Song 4, Just a Dream by Nelly, covered by Sam Sue and Christina Grimmie. The mod kit, I couldn't hear differences in the piano whatsoever. They all sounded exactly the same. Voices were easier to tell a difference with along with the bass. So the bass, I could hear the bass and I could hear the individual vocals a lot easier, and it didn't all blend into noise, where without the mod kit, everything blended into noise. However, I could tell a difference between the pianos. Then for the console test for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, with the mod kit, I could hear footsteps and where things were coming from a lot easier. The overall game sound was a lot louder than without the mod kit. And then without the mod kit, I could still hear footsteps, but they blended in with other things a lot easier, so I didn't get quite as good of directional sound, and sometimes I just completely missed the footsteps in general. So, the wrap-up of overall, the huge difference between both of them, overall impression for the sounds, there wasn't a huge difference. I really had to listen for both of the differences between these two things. Sometimes it sounded good, sometimes the mod kit sounded better, sometimes the non-mod kit sounded better, and it really depended on the sounds that I was trying to go for. But overall, I did like the sound a little bit better with the mod kit than I did without the mod kit. But the problem with that is that I do tend to like closed back headphones or headsets a lot better than open back, and with that you have to keep that kind of bias that I'm giving you of I might just choose the closed back headset because, one, I spent $60 on it, and two, because I like closed back headsets more. The $1 million question: what is the answer? Is this mod kit actually worth the $60 price tag? I really don't think it actually is. I think $60 is way too expensive for what you get. Yes, it does look very, very nice. It makes the overall headset look very expensive and fancy, and the stitch work and the leather is very nice and plushy, and that is such a weird word, plushy. The microphone, however, I feel like is not worth the difference in price, and then the materials themselves did not cost Astro $60. They are literally, I feel like, just trying to take your money from you. So if they were like $30, yes, totally worth it. $20, for sure. But $60 is just way too expensive, because that's making this headset a $210 headset, which is just ridiculous for the sound quality. My recommendation would be to buy the Mixamp Pro TR, and then I would buy a better headset separately that plugs into it, such as the Audio-Technica ATH AG1, or I think the other one is the ATH G1. The first one's closed back, the other one's open back, or any type of audiophile headsets that are from Audio-Technica, Sennheiser, or whoever makes the HyperCloud X, because I found great reviews on all of those products, and they're going to sound a lot better going through the Mixamp than these guys are, because I don't know. Overall, I'm really quite disappointed with just this headset sound in general, especially in comparison to my Audio-Technicas. Yes, this is an audiophile headphone where those are, but at the same time, when I'm paying $210 for a single headphone that hasn't actually got anything special to it, I expect it to sound ridiculous. So anyways, that is the end of this video. So if you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments comment section below. And of course, if you've been following my content for a while, please do subscribe. If you've never been to my channel, please check out some of my other content. If you like what you see, subscribe as well. I also have a Twitter that you should go follow, and I have a Facebook that I never actually go to, so you probably shouldn't like that guy. But other than that, I will catch you and your beautiful face on the next one. See ya.